are no presentations. There are no communications. There are 2 proclamations being read this afternoon. Councilmember Watson, would you please read Proclamation 0645?
Thank you, Council President. Proclamation number 260645, a proclamation celebrating Denver Police and Sheriff Appreciation Week. Whereas the City and County of Denver recognizes that the safety and well-being of all who live in, work in, and visit our community depend on the dedicated service of the men and women and the people of the Denver Police Department and the Denver Sheriff Department. And whereas the Denver Police Department, under the leadership of Chief Ron Thomas, and Denver Sheriff Department, under the leadership of Sheriff Elias Diggins, provide unified public safety services that safeguard our neighborhoods and ensure coordinated, transparent, and responsive service throughout the City and County of Denver. And whereas the Denver Police Department and Denver Sheriff Department are committed to maintaining public safety, reducing crime, and strengthening trust through community policing and strong partnerships with residents, businesses, and community organizations. And whereas the mission of the Denver Police Department and Sheriff Department is to provide essential public safety services with professionalism, compassion, care, and integrity. And whereas Denver Police and Sheriff Appreciation Week coincides with the National Police Week, first established in 1962 from President John F. Kennedy to honor the service and sacrifice of law enforcement officers across the United States. And whereas Denver Police and Sheriff Appreciation Week provides an opportunity for the residents and leaders of Denver to recognize and honor the dedication, professionalism, and sacrifices made daily by our law enforcement personnel. Now therefore be proclaimed by the City and County of Denver, and I'll read that correctly. Now therefore be proclaimed by the Council of the City and County of Denver, Section 1, that the Denver City Council recognizes May 10th through 16th, 2026 as Denver Police and Sheriff Appreciation Week, and Section 2, that the Clerk of the City and County of Denver shall affix the seal of the City and County of Denver to this proclamation, and that a copy be transmitted to Al Gardner, Executive Director of the Denver Department of Public Safety.
Thank you, Councilmember Watson. Your motion to adopt.
I move that proclamation number 260645 be adopted.
It has been moved and seconded. Comments by members of council? I'll start with you, Councilmember Watson.
Thank you so much, Council President and fellow council members. This is not just my proclamation. I assume this is from all of Denver City Council. When I look around this room of the public servants, the folks who've chosen to raise their hand to serve others, you are representative of all communities. Many of you are Denverites, many of you are transplants, but you all have that shared commitment of putting our people first and ensuring that we're safe. Safe is not just dealing with guns. Safe is not just a police action. Safe is being willing to listen to community members in your service. Safe is making sure that we are putting into place different steps in collaboration and co-creation with community. And I think that's what sets aside our Department of Safety from many others. We are built with and listen to the voices of community. And I see that in your 2 great leaders in the 500 meetings a week. I see them sitting in and listening, not often speaking, not often on the podium, but always present. That is important, and that's an important example for each of you standing and sitting in this room of the type of leadership that you have and the ways in which our community look at you, not just for safety, but security, to make sure we have the great Denver that we deserve. So thank you all for this week and every week that you put your lives and your family's lives, quite frankly, when you leave them every day, on the line for each of us sitting here in Denver City Council, from the Sheriff's team who support us on a regular basis, and the Denver Police and everyone else throughout the Department of Safety. Thank you so much for your leadership, Director Gardner, and thank you so much for each of you and the leadership that you provide.
Thank you. Councilmember Hines.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Councilmember Watson, for the proclamation. I want to try something. This will be slightly interactive. If you in the audience could raise your hand if you're a city employee. Oh, that's right. You're all city employees. Keep your hand up if you've served more than 5 years here in Denver. 10 years. 15 years. 20 years. Look at all these hands up. 25 years. 30 years. 35 years. Chief, like this. 40 years.
since he was born.
Thank you so much to all the city employees who help keep us, our jails safe, our cities safe, our streets safe, and do it with a smile on your face when that is appropriate, and with the attention when that is appropriate as well. So I just, not only do I want to thank you for being here, for being city employees, I want to thank you for the tenure, the amount of service that the people here in this room have provided to our great city. I think is also commendable. So thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Lewis?
Thank you. I'll be brief. I actually wanted to thank Sheriff Higgins for your partnership with the clothing closet with the Goodwill, as well as the free phone calls for jail. I mean, you and I have worked on a number of projects together, and I just have a deep appreciation for it, as well as your staff. They're always a very friendly face, a wave in the hallway in the morning, a good morning, and so thank you all, as well as walking us out to our cars, no matter how late we are here, and sometimes we're late. We're here pretty late. Then for you, Chief Thomas, I want to thank you and your staff as well for your responsiveness in community. Anytime I call you with something that's happening in District 8 or beyond, your folks are always responsive, always willing to have a conversation, always willing to be in partnership with whatever is happening in my community. And so just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you, your staff, for both of you. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Councilmember Parity?
Yeah, I just a couple of things to say to those same leaders. Chief Thomas knows this, but right when I was a brand new council member, my daughter and I witnessed a shooting right outside the elementary school in our neighborhood. My daughter was 6 at the time, and she was terrified. And I did not call the police chief because I in no way wanted to, get special treatment. I just called 911. But the chief got wind that this had happened and called and checked on me, and that kindness just has stayed with me. It's been a couple of years, but I just want you to know how much that meant to me and my daughter, frankly, because she felt safer because of that conversation that we had. And I, likewise, like Councilmember Lewis, have been over in the jail a number of times and could not speak more highly of the professionalism of the staff there, and especially the folks that are here with us. Staying alert through deeply boring things every Monday night and just keeping at us. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Pro Tem Romero Campbell?
Thank you, Madam President. Again, just deep appreciation for the partnership and for not only with myself, but with the entire D4 team, and how responsive and just so helpful with the team when they are working to try to, get answers, and also with our community partners. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody here in the room, and also those who stay and help us through our council meetings and wait for us to enter into our cars. I know it's a lift, and we just really appreciate it, and always accommodating. We're here in Par Widener when we're up also in the chambers. It's just been really, really fantastic. So thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Councilwoman Gonzalez Gutierrez?
Thank you, Madam President. I'm glad that we're doing this proclamation this evening, and want to thank you all for your service and your work. I've had, a lot of opportunity even before coming to City Council and interaction with Chief Thomas and Sheriff Diggins. I said it right this time. I didn't call you Chief. It's a joke. I think you all show up in a space in understanding that although we may not always agree when it comes to policy or how things are implemented, you still show up. You still show up for the tough conversations, whether it's in community or around a table where we're deliberating. And I do want to just say I appreciate both of you for always being willing to come to the table for that, and also understanding that there are times that I think you all might remember this where, even as folks in our roles are seen as being a certain way. And you both came through and said, we know that, we work together, and we try to work together as much as possible, knowing that, again, we may not always see eye to eye, but that I appreciate very much. And I know I can call either of you or any of, the officers and sheriff deputies if I have a question about something, because I've heard something about in community, I will say that you're pretty straightforward with providing that information, and I really, really appreciate it, because a lot of times it involves community members who are scared, who are upset, and I want to be able to help them and guide them on their path. So thank you so much. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Thank you to all of the uniformed people in here today with us. I think all of our lives are better because of your service, and it's a calling to be able to be a public service. It's not something that you literally have to have a calling. It literally has to fill your heart at night, because a lot of what you all see, you take home with you at night, and it impacts your family, it impacts your personal health, it impacts your mental health. And just want to say that I can understand that. And to both Chief Thomas and Sheriff Diggins, thank you both personally for a lot of the help that you've given me personally. I'll never forget, Chief Thomas, when you weren't chief, but you checked on me one night when something really egregious happened at my house, and you called me in the middle of the night and asked how I was, and I think I was sobbing, and you stayed on the phone with me until I was actually better, and then you helped advocate for resources for me, because I was working for the fire department and I didn't know I had access to certain resources as a someone who was working for public safety. So thank you for that. And Chief Diggins, thank you. I know I've had some issues here with somebody who is trying to make themselves known to me, and have had to rely on your staff a little bit more than I don't like to. You know, I don't like to ask for help. Have a very hard time asking for help, and just want you all to know that when I go home, I am a mom, and my family hears about these things, and I'm like, don't worry, it's okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm at the city and county building, or don't worry, I'm okay. We'll have extra patrol at the house. So it really does make a difference in these jobs that we also take home with us. So thank you all. And I just want to give a shout out. Thank you all for your professionalism. We hear about these disputes, and it's usually probably on average 7%. There's 7% of us, teachers, elected officials, who are bad actors. And then you all get the rap of being bad actors. And I have not experienced that at my time here. So thank you all for your professionalism and for showing up every day when things aren't easy. We really appreciate that. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Alvidrez.
Aye.
Flynn.
Aye.
Gonzalez Gutierrez.
Aye.
Hines.
Aye.
Cashman.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Parity.
Aye.
Romero Campbell.
Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye.
Torres.
Aye.
Watson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Aye. Madam Secretary, close the voting, announce the results.
12 ayes.
12 ayes, Proclamation 0645 has been adopted. We now have time for the proclamation acceptance. Councilmember Watson, who will you be inviting up to accept the proclamation?
Call up Sheriff Diggins and Chief Thomas. And if you want to bring your brother from another mother, Director Gardner, with y'all, you all three can come up, and whoever else you choose.
Okay. Since he put it like that. These two have hair, so I'm out. But I think, really, really briefly, we all live in Denver, and I think we're blessed. To echo what everyone has heard, we're blessed to have men and women that serve like this. One thing that's evident really, really quickly, once you start working very, very closely with police and sheriff and the rest of the Denver Department of Safety, is how much they care. And I think that becomes evident in interaction. As you find out how much they care, that level of trust begins to rise and rise and rise. And I think probably they're a victim of their own piousness, an inability to tell that story. But it's because their heart is truly in the work that they do. And it's been a privilege to work alongside them. So thank you on behalf of Department of Safety. Thank you.
I'll be brief as well. Good afternoon, Council. Thank you all for the proclamation and for those words. It is a privilege for us to be able to do the work that we're called to do. And I met with our brand new class of recruits this morning and told them that this is not a job, it's a career. The work is hard, and we're challenged physically, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes spiritually. But I want to thank all of the members of our agency for showing up every single day, despite the adversity that we have. As an agency, they never give up, they never quit, and we continue to move forward because of the good work of all the people who have decided that this is where they want to serve the citizens. And we also thank the people of the city and county of Denver for all of their support as well, because we could not do this work without them, and it's our privilege to be able to serve them. So thank you. Please feel free to continue to call on us whenever you need. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President, Councilman Watson, all members of council. I think normally I would say that you've saved the best for last, but I think maybe more appropriate that you've saved the oldest for last. And Councilman Hines, I will forgive the ageism. But I do want to thank you all. You have continued to show up and tell and celebrate the story of Denver PD and the city of Denver, and so we certainly appreciate that. Certainly appreciate everybody that has showed up today to receive this proclamation. It really is not for us, it is for all of us, and so certainly appreciative of that. And also I think in particular because many of you normally attend our memorial ceremony, which is going to be on Thursday the 14th. I know that you all will be away at your budget retreat, and so certainly you will be missed, but your thoughts will certainly be with us, so thank you.
Councilmember Flynn, would you please read Proclamation 0649?
Yes, I will, Madam President. Thank you. Proclamation 26-0649, honoring the O'Hare's multi-generational service to the Denver Police Department. Whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy declared through presidential proclamation the week of May 15 as National Peace Officers Memorial Week in the United States. And whereas the Denver Police Museum has instituted its legacy program to honor and recognize multi-generational law enforcement service to our community, it was chosen to highlight the O'Hare family for Police Week 2026. And whereas William O'Hare began the family's legacy upon joining the Denver Police Department on January 1st, 1951, serving in Districts 2 and 3, excelling as a detective in the burglary division, solving numerous rape cases, and earning the Medal of Honor for his bravery during an attempted robbery of Western National Bank. And whereas William's brother, Paul O'Hare, joined the Denver Police Department in 1958 as a patrol officer downtown, going on to work several undercover assignments to suppress street robberies and crimes against women, earning recognition and being awarded a fellowship from the College of Criminal Justice, and also serving as a patrolman, technician, sergeant, lieutenant, working at the academy as a shift commander and as a community relations liaison. And whereas Dan O'Hare, son of William, joined the Denver Police Department as a cadet, graduating as the outstanding recruit of his class and going on to earn the Purple Heart in 1973 for a serious injury. He served with distinction in roles including patrol officer in Districts 2 and 4, detective in Vice, narcotics, major peddler unit, and the Organized Crime Strike Force, sergeant in patrol in the Intelligence Bureau, lieutenant in patrol and internal affairs, a captain aide to Chief Zavaras, commander of District 1, division chief of staff services, chief of detectives, chief of patrol, chief of technology and support, and deputy chief of administration. Sounds like you couldn't hold a job. And whereas Kelly O'Hare, daughter of Dan, joined the Denver Police Department as a cadet in 1989 and went on to serve and patrol at Districts 3 and 4 as a detective in domestic violence and homicide and as a lieutenant in the Intelligence Bureau. And whereas Carrie O'Hare, daughter of Dan, joined the Denver Police Department in 2000 and served as a patrol officer in Districts 4 and 5, a community resource officer in District 3, a detective in District 6, major crimes, and the firearms assault shoot team, and currently serves in major crimes, sex offense investigations. And whereas David Quinones, husband of Kelly O'Hare, joined the department in January 1986 and served in District 4 Patrol, the gang unit, as a sergeant in internal affairs and narcotics, as a lieutenant in District 6, commander of District 1, division chief for special operations and patrol, and as a deputy chief of the Denver Police Department. And whereas Paul Jimenez, husband of Carrie O'Hare, joined the Denver Police Department in 1998, has enjoyed a distinguished career marked by numerous citations, including the Medal of Honor for bravery, and currently serves as commander of the Strategic Investigations Bureau. And whereas Dan O'Hare Jr. serves 2 years as a volunteers and police service volunteer, staffing the 16th Street Mall kiosk and the Bear Valley Cop Shop. And whereas Ryan O'Hare, son of Dan O'Hare, joined the Lakewood Police Department in 2005, serving in patrol, investigations, and as a canine handler. And whereas John Nelson, a cousin, began his career in 2006, serving on patrol and as a corporal in District 6, as a sergeant in District 4, and currently serves as a sergeant at the airport. And whereas Aaron O'Hare, also a cousin, continues the O'Hare family legacy as a recruit in the current Denver Police Academy class. Therefore, be it proclaimed by the Denver City Council's Section 1 that the Denver City Council recognizes the O'Hare's family's outstanding 220 years of cumulative public safety service to the people of Denver. Section 2, that the clerk and recorder of the City and County of Denver shall affix the seal of the City and County of Denver to this proclamation, and that a copy be transmitted to the O'Hare family, the Denver Police Department, and the Denver Police Museum.
Thank you, Councilmember Flynn. Your motion to adopt?
Thank you, Madam President. I move that Proclamation 26-0649 be adopted.
It has been moved and seconded. Comments by members of council? Councilmember Flynn?
Thank you, Madam President. I'll be brief. I refreshed my memory about Dan, mostly about Dan. I didn't know he had all these family members in the department, so many of them. I knew Chief Quinones, of course, and a few of the others. So I had to refresh my memory over the weekend because a lot of your service in command overlapped with my tenure at the Rocky Mountain News, diagonally across from the headquarters. So I spent a lot of time in that building doing night cops and day cops, as well as covering city council. And so I did have occasion to write a few things that had your name in them, and I hope you don't remember them. But to have such a distinguished career and to be inspired by your father, by your uncle, and to have your children and cousins and nephews and nieces be inspired by that also is just a testament to how good it is to serve on the Denver Police Department. They've had some rough times, and your father probably witnessed a few of them during his tenure in the early 60s. And so, but to establish that legacy, I think speaks to the command and the continuation of command and the pursuit of excellence on the Denver Police Department. Not always getting there, but always striving to be there. So I want to thank you, Dan, and your extended family for 220 years combined of you, your father, uncle, and the rest of your family. So thank you.
Thank you. Just want to say thank you for your service. A lot of times in what Councilmember Flynn read, it impacted Northwest Denver, and I personally know some of your family members who have been tremendous to service to Denver. So thank you and all your family for all your amazing dedication to Denver. I'm glad we're doing this proclamation. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Alvidrez.
Aye.
Flynn.
Aye.
Gonzalez Gutierrez.
Aye.
Hines.
Aye.
Cashman.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Parity.
Aye.
Romero Campbell.
Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye.
Torres.
Aye.
Watson.
Aye.
Madam President.
Aye. Madam Secretary, close the voting, announce the results.
12 ayes.
12 ayes, Proclamation 0649 has been adopted. We have 5 minutes for the proclamation acceptance. Councilmember Flynn, who will you be inviting up to accept the proclamation?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to invite Dan and also the chief to say some words about this proclamation and about the family.
Thank you, Council President, Councilman Watson. Again, Denver Police Chief Ron Thomas. Certainly thankful for this proclamation. I remember a quote by, I can't remember the sports writer, but they talked about how the way that you identify people for entry into a Hall of Fame, whether it's the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame or NFL Hall of Fame, is you cannot tell the story of Major League Baseball or the NFL without that name. And so I think that there are a number of members of the O'Hare family, both past and present, that you cannot talk about the Denver Police Department without mentioning their names. Specifically, I know that members of that family, again, both past and present, have been significant mentors in my life. And so I'm certainly proud to be here to accept the proclamation on behalf of the O'Hare family. And thank you all once again for, recognizing our history. Thank you.
I think you wrote some good stories, Kevin. I never had any problems with any of them, but I don't remember ever giving you a statement about anything, unless Zavaris ordered me to. I guess first to introduce my family, better half Kathy, and my daughter Kelly, who's retired Denver PD lieutenant. My daughter Carrie, who's currently active, a sex assault detective. My brother Bill, who did a distinguished career with Parks and Recreation and is retired now, and his wife Lorene. And I didn't forget anybody, I hope. I guess the most important thing is to thank you for recognizing us. The Police Museum was behind this effort, and Mike Hess has done a great job developing that whole project there. It's amazing. Talk about my dad, my uncle, and they were brothers in a family of 14 kids. And they were Depression-era babies. And so, like when my dad was 23 years old, he had 2 kids. My brother was one of them, and one on the way, me. And he was just looking for a steady job, a steady paycheck, and some secure employment, and probably hoping that maybe someday he would be able to afford like a second-hand wringer washing machine and a clothesline or something. Of course, this Denver Civil Service was offering about $200 and some a month, plus 4 days off a month. So who wouldn't jump on that deal? His younger brother, Paul, one of his younger brothers, Paul, followed him a couple years behind. Paul was a true scholar. He had been a principal in Fraser before he came on the police department. But I'm sure he was thinking the same thing, that Depression-era mindset. A steady job, steady paycheck. It doesn't matter how much you make, it's how much you save. And like 20 years or so after that, I was 21 years old with one kid, Kelly, another one on the way, Carrie, and more to follow. And I was hoping that maybe I could get on steady and actually be able to afford like a washer and dryer someday, It all worked out great. My kids and grandkids now, instead of wringer washing machines and clotheslines, they've got iPads and iPhones and electric cars, and this department and this city has treated us so well and made us so blessed. Now, I was always told if you get on this job, it's like a ticket to the greatest show on earth, and it was. And some of the scenes They were horrifying. There were things that you cannot unsee or unforget. You can't forget them. But there were a lot of heartwarming things, a lot of successes, and a lot of good things that happened. And every one of us has suffered like a bunch of injuries that were potentially, life-threatening injuries and been in those life-threatening situations. But we also had a lot of rewards and a lot of great people to work around. And anytime I'm in a room where I'm surrounded by people in blue uniforms, most of them are gone now, I'm comfortable because that's the way I spent most of my adult life. So thank you so much for this proclamation, recognizing our family. I thank all the council members, and I hope that all of you can attend the event on Thursday. A number of those officers who were on that wall, I knew and worked around, and so I feel it's important that we be there to honor them too. Thank you.